You're welcome to the AFIA Sports Show on AFIA TV, AFIA 99.3. That's AFIA Radio, 9.3, because we're talking about it's a simulcast we're running, and I'm excited because we're here again with the simulcast on AFIA TV, the home of sports, and we are on the channels 254 DSTV, 17 GoTV, 748 Free TV, and then of course, like I said in my excitement, 99.3, that's the radio frequency, because we're running a simultaneous broadcast on AFIA TV and AFIA Radio. Welcome to the show. I remain Sisi Emetebe, also known as Sisi the Rabbi, and we have a lot to deal with today, and I'm not doing this alone. I am here with somebody who is very, very dynamic in the world of sports in terms of sports analysis and punditry. Many of you know him. I know him very well, and he's somebody who always has a lot to give when it comes to sports. I'm talking about none other than the blessed Zik himself, Zik Ngene.
Nice to be here. Thanks for having me, and good morning.
Good morning to you. It's really great to be here. So today being the 12th of July, we are going into the business for the day. But first with the headlines, key headlines, the sports news. First of all, we have information from the Metro. Rangers International, Rangers Football Club, Rangers International are seriously in advanced stages trying to seal a deal for Remo Stars hitman Sikiru Alimi, who has been one of the revelations of this past season. Remo Stars Sikiru Alimi was one of those that scored key goals and contributed offensively to the title charge of Remo Stars to make them the first privately owned team since Julius Berger in 2000, that was 25 years ago, to win the Nigerian Premier Football League. So Rangers are trying to seal the deal, especially after many departures that we've seen so far this season. And then again, the CAF Champions League. In the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup, it is very, very clear right now that CAF, the umbrella body of these bodies, is giving out $100,000 in terms of preparation aid to the 4 teams that have qualified for the continent. That is the 2 tiers of the continent, continental football, referring to the CAF Champions League. That's where you have Remo Stars that we just mentioned, who finish as the league leaders and winners of the NPFL title, and then the runners-up Rivers United. Then the CAF Confederations Cup, you have Abia Warriors that finished third, getting themselves an automatic qualification to the preliminary round of the CAF Confederations Cup. And then the other team being Kwara United, who won the President's Federations Cup and got the second slot for the CAF Confederations Cup. So that's actually what happened. So at the end of the day, $100,000 is exactly what is being given. And it's a massive bit of news because last season it was $50,000. So the amount of money needed to aid preparations has been doubled, and that is pleasant because you talk about a great deal of preparation that's going into this. There are players to be signed, there are contracts to be resolved, there are preparations, travel preparations and plans, there are logistics to be carried out. As long as the monies are spent as and when due, that's going to be a beautiful one indeed. Then we also have the Flying Eagles, who kicked off their WAFU B Under-20 tournament, and that happened with the Jollof Derby against Ghana, the Black Stars of Ghana. That's the young Black Stars of Ghana. And they ended up by getting a 1-1 draw. That's WAFU B Under-20s Boys Cup. The tournament is being hosted by Ghana themselves, and it started off with the host up against what some will call the favorites, and that's the Nigerian team, the WAFU B Under-20 boys. And it ended up a 1-1 draw. That was a pleasant result indeed. And still talking about results, we're looking at the Wafcon, Women's African Cup of Nations, and the news there is that Wafcon, for the CAF have actually planned to award. They've made preparations, they've made provision rather to award $1 million to the winners of the Wafcon, ongoing Wafcon. That is $1 million to the winners of the ongoing Wafcon. Then the runners-up are going to get $500,000. Then the third place team are going to get $350,000, and then the 4th team in this ongoing WAFCON will receive $300,000. What that means is that the 4 semi-finalists that are going to qualify for the World Cup, the next World Cup, because all the time the 4 semi-finalists of every WAFCON get automatic qualification to the World Cup. So it's also going to aid their preparations. So that's their prize money. So $1 million for the winners of this tournament. $500,000, that is $500,000 for the runners-up, then $350,000 for the third place team, and then $300,000 for the fourth place team. That is a windfall indeed, and we're looking forward to seeing Nigeria get Mission X on the way because we need that money. And speaking of the incentives and all whatnot, we have the NNL Super 8. It is now official. 4 teams have qualified from the Nigerian National League for the next level, and the next level is the top tier of Nigerian football, in Nigerian football pyramid. We are looking at them. Behold, your new teams that are coming up to the NPFL. From the north, you have Wikki Tourists of Bauchi, and then you have the Barau FC. They are two teams from the Northern Conference that have made it to qualify for this, the NPFL next season. And then from the Southern Conference, you have Warri Wolves. It's been a long time since Warri Wolves were in the NPFL, but they are back right now, the team from the South. And you have Kun Khalifa, the Owerri-based club from the Southeast. So one Southeast representative has gained promotion to the NPFL. We hope it remains that way because remember, Beyond Limits gained promotion and we saw how that panned out. I don't want to talk much about that. Maybe that's a topic for another day because an Owerri-based club went down and one has come up. How is it going to happen? Let's just use our tongue and count our teeth. So those are the headlines for today. As we move to the next item, and that is Wafcon, the ongoing Wafcon, Women's African Cup of Nations. It has been star-studded, it's been star-packed, and we've had all sorts of results that have been going on. Mission X is well on the way, and Nigeria have started on a brilliant note indeed. Nigeria, who are the perennial chief contenders, having won it 9 times, and then Mission X is on the way. A plan to win it a 10th time on the continent. That's Nigeria's plan. And so far, with all the results that are happening, because of time, I don't want to talk much about those other results. But Nigeria's results give me a lot of interest. And the fact that the first match was against Tunisia, the Super Falcons of Nigeria won Tunisia by 3-0. That was what happened there. Goals were scored in the 4th minute by Asisa Toshuola. And then in the 45th minute, extra time of 45th minute, it was Babajide that scored that goal there, and of course that beautiful Jota celebration in commemoration of Diogo Jota that just passed away not too long ago. And then the 3rd goal was scored in the second half by Chinwendu Ihezuo. And the second game against Botswana, Chinwendu Ihezuo continued from where she stopped and scored the only goal in the 89th minute. So Nigeria have qualified already because Nigeria have 6 points, and the chasing pack there, Algeria and Tunisia, have 4 points. The whipping girls of the group so far are Botswana. But, no, Zik, I'm coming to you right now. Wafcon has started. Mission X is already on the way. And so far, so good. If you compare this with last Wafcon, Nigeria lost the first game to the eventual winners, South Africa, in the Amapiano Derby. But so far, it's been good. It's been good. Beating a Northern African side against Tunisia, that's Tunisia, and then coming up against a Southern African side, that's Botswana, in the southern part of Africa, winning. And we have one more game tomorrow, and that's going to be against Algeria, the last game of the group. What's your take? Justin Madugu has had these girls come up there, and they've really gotten into the fray. There are some who have been on the bench, and they've featured. Some have been super subs, like Chinwendu Ihezuo, for instance. But you're looking at people like Ashley Plumpton, who's been called back and has been brilliant in her left back position there. Tosi Demehi and Osinachi Ohale have been brilliant also in that their centre back pairing. Right back, who doesn't love Michelle Alozie, doing a very fantastic job there. You have Tony Payne up front there, and Asisa Toshuola sometimes starting, sometimes not. Then Winshola Babajide, who has taken to the team in a wonderful way. I don't know. You look at that midfield also. It's there. Deborah Abiodun, Halimatu Ayinde, particularly. Even so much so that it's difficult to even find a place for Christy Uchibe to start, depending on that. So, what's your impression so far of the Falcons? Are they really ready? Is this just talk? Is it just rhetoric? Mission X. Is it just something that people want to say to make us feel excited? Or do they look like the real deal? It's still too early, 2 games only. But do they look like the real deal to you?
Once again, pleasure to do this. I think for me, the Super Falcons have been on a very, very impressive run of results. You can say it's just 2 games, but you play what is in front of you, and in a tournament like this, it's always important to win your first game, and we did that very, very convincingly, scoring 3 goals, 3 different scorers, scoring both halves of the of play. And as recent as just yesterday, I think they won Botswana by a goal. A day before yesterday, they won Botswana by a goal to nil. It was a late goal, 89th-minute goal by Ihezu again. It shows that everybody in the team, the squad, believes in the target, the goal that the team has. That's the Project X. So I don't think it's rhetoric. This is coming from the 9-time record champions of women's football in Africa. You have to. I think it will be a bit of an insult to say it's a rhetoric. It's an agenda. It's an aim. It's a target, and I think it's very, very achievable because of the way they have shown with their performances so far.
Really, it should be. It's something we're looking forward to, and considering the fact that Nigeria are very, very likely to finish as the group leaders, because all it takes to seal the group is to avoid defeat against Algeria. Algeria have 4 points, so if Algeria wins Nigeria,
they'll go on 7.
They'll go on 7, and the Falcons will be on 6.
For me, the most important thing is getting qualification as early and as quick as possible. Nigeria is the only team in the whole tournament that has 2 wins out of 2. The defending champions have a win and a draw. The hosts have a win and a draw. They didn't win their first game, but Nigeria has done their job. Topping the table or not, it's good to top your table. But I feel with this kind of tournament, with the tie still yet to be decided, because there's still going to be 2 third-best teams in the tournament that will join in the knockout round. It's very, very important that the team just keeps on adding the momentum. I'm not too worried about topping the group, because I believe that with this kind of form, nobody wants to face these Super Falcons.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful to know that. But we have to also start. I don't want to look beyond tomorrow's game against Algeria. That's going to be a tough one. Nigeria and Algeria share a very topsy-turvy, KG, right? Let me say KG.
Touchy atmosphere, rivalry, and
yeah, because Nigeria at all levels, whether the male side at all the age levels or female side. Like now we're talking about the female side, the senior national team. We've always had those running rivalries with some different teams for different reasons. Look at the Jollof Derby. Nigeria against Ghana will always be that rivalry.
I think that one is even outside of the pitch.
It happens. I mean, the bragging rights are there. The dragging will always be there. The Amapiano Derby against Nigeria and South Africa, and there's even an added advantage, or should I say added incentive to win this, because not every Nigerian was pleased that 2 things happened last time out. Nigeria lost to South Africa in the opening game, and the same South Africa went on to win the title, and it's left a bitter pill to be swallowed. But I think that right now, where we are, where Nigeria is going to, from what I have seen, there is squad depth, there is strength there. There are some players who are left out. People are crying out about the exclusion of people like Gift Monday, for instance. But the squad that we have there is a very, very solid squad. So would you say, I think basically I'm reiterating what you've been saying, but I want to ask now formally, would you say that who would you like Nigeria to meet in the next round? Because clearly Nigeria has qualified, but whether the Falcons finish as group leaders or runners-up is left to be seen. Tomorrow will determine that. But who would you like to see? The dynamics are not very clear right now regarding which team, which group they're going to get from, because there are only 3 groups in this Wafcon, groups A, B, and C. It would have been very, very straightforward if you have group A, B, C, and D. Maybe the winners of group A come up against the runners-up of group B.
That's why I said a lot of things have not yet been decided. Yeah. There are still going to be 2 third-best teams based on their performances.
The best losers.
Best losers, yeah.
So that's another matter.
So anybody is, and for me, you just have to look at yourself. You just have to take care of your own responsibilities, your own performances, your own games. There have been teams that have shown glimpse of their quality. Senegal, the first game they won 4-0, but they lost against Zambia, who have already so impressed in their first game against Morocco.
But they have the highest goal scorer with 4 goals. That lady also, I think she won.
Yeah, Ngenai for Senegal. Yes, I understand that part. But what I'm trying to say is there are different teams with different weapons to hurt you. Zambia with Banda and Kretai, Chebak in Morocco. You know, you just have to know that. And South Africa, they are the defending champions. There is no Ketlana, but Lalo is playing well. Sefosengwe is playing. So you just have to. I just like the quality, the intensity that the tournament has been showing so far. The girls are showing that, you know, with more investment and with what CAF is, the incentive that CAF has already promised them, I think there is going to be even more growth. And this is not the one for the World Cup qualification. There's still going to be another one that will decide that. But this is good to know and set your own standards high for all the players, and, you know, check how you are against your fellow competitors in Africa.
I think that's pleasant indeed. Okay, so we'll just wrap that up at that point. We have a lot to discuss. So much. This is a power-packed show. And we're going to move, of course, we start from the metro, we move to the continent, and we move beyond there. There is a lot to talk about in the world of sports. We will get back to that in a jiffy after this short break. Stick around, don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the AFIA Sports Show, Home of Sports on AFIA TV. Of course, like I said earlier, this is a simulcast. We're running both TV and radio broadcasts. Now, the simulcast on radio, you can get us on 99.3. So you're listening in right now. You can hear us from the radio, from the comfort of your home or your car or wherever else you're comfortable, as long as there's a radio there. But also in front of your TV, just tune in to AFIA TV. Some of you are already there, so keep it fixed. Channel 254 DSTV, Channel 17 Go TV, Channel 748 Free TV. And I still remain your man, CC the Rabbi, and I'm doing this not alone, but of course with the man himself, Blessed Zik Ngene. Welcome back, Zik.
Pleasure.
So we've already cleared out the matters of the metro from Nigeria to Africa, and now we're going to the world. And there's been some world-class beating that's happened recently. Sorry, I'm not laughing. Look, I like Real Madrid. I like Real Madrid. But Real Madrid, obviously, and I'm just quoting the word, I'm rephrasing the words of his victor, because they have the victor and the vanquished. Luis Enrique, who, funnily enough, had no respect for his former team. He played for Real Madrid from 1991 to 1996 before going to Barcelona. He